Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Vela Visutara, NPM 2441214, student of accounting, class accounting 24A. Today I'll be sharing about general provision and tax producers, or what usually called KUP in Indonesia. Before we start, let's think for a moment what would happen in our country had not rules for tax collection. It would be chaotic, right? That's why KUP exists to make sure our tax system runs fairly, clearly, and in organized way. KUP basically acts as the main legal framework for taxation in Indonesia. It defines how taxpayer and the government interact, their rights, obligation, and what happens when there's a dispute. So, it's not only about paying tax, it's about building a transparent relationship between citizens and the government. Before KUP existed, each type of tax had its own rules. And it was really confusing for everyone, even for tax officers. To fix that, the government introduced Law No. 6 of 1983 to combine all the general tax regulation into one clear system. The main goal was simple: to make taxation fair, clean, and easy to understand. KUP is built on three important principles. First, legal certainty, meaning everything must be based on law, not on personal judgment. Second, transparency, where both taxpayers and tax officers have clear rights and responsibilities. And third, simplicity, so that tax producers are not complicated and people are encouraged to comply voluntarily. In KUP, there are three main systems of tax collection. 1. Official assessment system, where the tax is calculated by the tax authority. 2. Self-assessment system, where the taxpayer calculates and reports their own tax. This is the system Indonesia uses today. And 3. Withholding system, where a third party, such as company, cuts and pays the tax on behalf of someone else. This shows how much trust the government places in the honesty of these taxpayers. Now, let's talk about how taxation actually works in practice. First, every taxpayer needs to register for an NPWP, which is their tax identification number. Then, they must report their income through the annual tax return, SPT. The tax authority can later conduct an audit to check if everything matches the actual situation. If there are differences, the authority can use warning or even tax assessment. For example, if someone forgets to submit their SPT on time, they might receive formal letter from the tax office. In taxation, it's not just about obligation. Taxpayers also have rights. Their obligations include registering, paying, and reporting taxes, and keeping all related documents. But their rights are equally important. They can file an objection, ask for a refund, if they overpay, and expect fair treatment from the tax office. So, KUP ensures that both sides, taxpayer and the government, are protected. Sometimes, after reviewing tax reports, the government may find difference. In this case, they use what's called a tax assessment letter, SKP. There are three main types. SKP KB for underpayment, SKPN for no difference, and SKPLB for overpayment. If a taxpayer still doesn't pay after being notified, the process can continue with warnings and even asset seizure. But all of this is done under legal procedures. Just like any other system, there are sanctions for those who break the rules. There are administrative sanctions, like finance or interest charges, and criminal sanction for serious violation like fraud or falsifying reports. However, the real goal isn't punishment, it's ensuring honesty and compliance among taxpayers. So, to wrap up, KUP isn't just about rules and penalties. It represents justice and fairness in Indonesia tax system. By following the KUP, we help build a tax system that transparent, reliable, and trusted by society. As young people, it's important for us to understand and support taxation because tax are what help build our nation future. Thank you for your listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.